Hi guys, welcome back to another episode. We are currently in the middle of spring. You probably wouldn't believe it, judging by this 15 degrees Celsius weather, or currently 13 at the moment. Feels like 12. I thought I haven't done an update for a while, so I thought I would go take a walk through the garden and show you the progress of how our trees moving along since we had this spell of warm winter weather and probably one great week of, and 1 week of spring, and we've sort of flown straight back into winter. But anyways, without further ado, we'll take a closer look. There's been a lot going on, so let's have a look. As you can see, the grass is still pretty long. The wet weather and the rain has prevented us from cutting it, but that's alright. We got loquats starting to fruit, not too much. I think it's taking a break this year. We've moved back. Can't really see too much fruit, but that's alright. We got quite a bit last year, so that's alright. I think the only fruit is the one that's hanging right here. So that's okay. We'll give it a break this year, and hopefully next year we'll get some more fruit. The pepino is doing really well, which is good. They're always doing pretty well, thirsty plants, but it's flowering and it's giving a lot of fruit. The Paxton Prolific, I'm not too sure. I think since I moved this one, it hasn't done extremely well. So what we're going to do is we'll wait till summer, and then if it still doesn't improve, I think we'll find him another location in the tropical area. Our passion fruit has started to flower, which is good, as you can see here. This is the first year that it's actually flowering, which is awesome. I'm pretty excited. I've waited, I think, about 2 years, maybe? No, a year and a bit for it to flower. And I know you can't see up there as well, but up there's full of flowers too. So fingers crossed, come summer, we'll get some passion fruit, which is good. All the ornamentals are doing really well. Variegated gingers, xanadu's, agaves, and your palms. So I won't go into too much detail with them. Our pomegranate, I actually forgot which one this one is called. I've taken the tag off it, but that's alright. Also started to flower too, which is good news. This one's come back pretty well. Pomegranates generally come pretty quickly as they swing into spring, so moving right along. The curry tree, the guava, Hawaiian guava's woken up. So if you remember the winter videos that I did, all the purple leaves pretty much all dropped off now. This guy got zero protection this winter, and as you can see, all the new growth that's coming through is pretty awesome. So hopefully he'll make some decent growth this year, and we'll keep an eye on him. Still relatively thin though, as you can see my finger, probably about, rough estimate. The lemongrass next to it, don't know how it didn't do as well as the guava, so go figure. New shoots of bamboo, which is growing out near the shed, so that's good news. That's a black bamboo. Our first R2E2, which I'll go into in a second, but I'll just show you, got more growth bamboo there, which is cool. Our first R2E2, which I've popped into the ground, doing relatively well, no complaints. He's growing fashion's a bit weird. He is above ground, which is fine. I normally cover it with mulch. We'll cover it with more mulch, obviously. Birds are coming and digging it out. But yeah, his growing fashion's really weird. Just stay. Okay, that wasn't meant to happen, but he's straight now. If we didn't break him. There you go. It all happens while we're recording. Anyways, he wants to shoot out some new growth just there. That's the R2E2 grafted, I think it is, or seedling. I'm not too sure. We can have a look. Yeah, that's a seedling one. There's definitely no graft there, so that's all right. There we go. Sorry about that. Yeah, definitely no graft there. That's a seedling one. So he's doing relatively well. Bit of winter damage, but not too much to complain. And he'll get protection from the shed there as well. Second one that I'm enjoying the growth of is the lost my train of thought. Ice cream bean. This one has grown tremendously over winter, and probably I'm going to say my favourite tree. I think it's just beautiful. If you remember when I first got it, maybe many of you won't, you'd have to go back pretty far. It's probably a metre, not even, probably half a metre, and now this branch here and the rest of the branches are growing so quickly. It's actually awesome. So I'm pretty happy with that growth. All native soil, no amendments, no fertilizer, and the growth is just, I love how the red leaves, most tropicals when they grow new leaves it comes out like a deep red before it goes green, and this guy's just absolutely covered with it. So pretty happy with that. If you have a look a bit lower, the trunk is now almost the span of my hand, so really happy with that one. What else? Your bananas are slowly waking up, and the wind's not doing them any favours. This is the dwarf. Pretty sure it's a dwarf Cavendish, but yeah, I planted this maybe 3-4 years ago now. Planted some passion fruit along the chicken run. As you can see, that's slowly vining up. Got two types of passion fruit there. The Nelly Kelly, I think it's called, black one, and the banana passion fruit. So hopefully they'll go across the roof and the sides of the chicken run as it goes along. Alright, moving right along. Lots and lots of plums this year, which is good. Chuck some blueberries there too, which are flowering, which is awesome. The bananas are all loving it here. Red Duck is starting to wake up. Dwarf Cavendishes there too, and the mint looking all really healthy. Pretty happy with the mint. They about 4 that I got there, all for 50 cents a pot, which is really good. So you can really find some good bargains out there if you look around. So yeah, they're happy. More of the red Dakar and the gingers, and more bananas. Moving right along, our pomegranate, not looking too good, but I'm not too preoccupied with that. They generally come back pretty quickly. One that I actually did want to show you is a black pomegranate. I don't know if you remember when I got this one from Bunnings maybe last year, yeah, and it was relatively sick. So I cut it right down, gave it some sea salt, and it's coming back with a vengeance, which is great. And this guy I got on a bargain too, because he was sick. So pretty happy. Hopefully we get some flowering and some fruiting from him. Now, next to him is the Balimbi. I don't know if you remember, again, I got that Balimbi last year, and he was inside for the majority of the of winter, and for good reason. And as you can see now, the results is that he is waking up. I don't know if you can really see that, but camera really doesn't do it too much justice. But those little, I don't know, buds are all around the tree. So hopefully we don't get too much more of this cold weather, because he wants to wake up and he wants to, branch out. So fingers crossed for the Balimbi. Now as we move into tropical protected area, little needs to be said regarding the Babako. Doing relatively well, no complaints. We zoom in, you can see the flowering. Obviously wants the fruit. What else? Yes. Hass avocado, if you remember, was being funky and was doing all this weird stuff. So chopped him right down. He can start from scratch. I've never had too much experience or luck with avocados, but oh well, we're going to see how he goes. Cut him straight down to the trunk, and hopefully he'll come back. So fingers crossed. We got 2 papayas, which are the red papayas from Ross Creek Tropicals. Pretty small. They're handling the weather pretty well though, to be honest with you. No complaints, relatively green, a lot of new growth, so I don't know. I don't have too much hope for them over the winter, but we'll keep an eye on both of them, and just see. I mean, this is much more, as you can see, it's much more of a closed area. The rest of the area is completely wet. If I show you the rocks, probably doesn't do too much justice, but it's all wet here and they're dry. So in the middle of them, we've put the, if you saw in the previous video, we put the mangoes in ground. So this is the second R2E2. That's the grafted one, and yep, pretty clear, the graft there. No signs of new growth. Is there? No, actually there is. Sorry, I'm wrong. So there you go. There is signs of new growth, but relatively slow, so that's okay. We've got plenty of time. We're not going anywhere. Pisang Ceylon, waking up. Another papaya, which we got from Dailies. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's not handling as good as those other ones. Let's see. I got this one at the start of spring. Sunny Red. So I think he's handling it pretty well. I don't know. Looks a bit funny. He came like that. What do you reckon? Doesn't look very good. Looks sick. I don't know. We'll keep an eye on him. Anyway, Taiso Lychee. A bit of sun damage, but doing relatively well. New growth, as you can see, all along that branch, and lots of budding coming along this branch. And if we even have a look in the middle there, lots of budding. So pretty happy with it. Needs to be in a protected area, no sun. It's too sensitive. If you remember, this was the one that was damaged last summer and went 5 steps backwards, and then by the end of summer was almost brand new. So there you go. Full size Cavendish, waking up. As you can see, the banana leaves here a little bit. This one's not as bad, less damaged, and that's purely because we don't get too much wind around this corner here. So I think it's a perfect place to plant. So anyway, Cavendish, Babaco's waking up. This one here, this one was being funky too, but he's put his energy into growing now, so we'll keep an eye on him. Got rid of most of the old leaves. The dragon fruit behind it, slowly creeping up the fence, as you can see. Loads of new growth along the sides, so good news there. What else? This lychee's looking a bit sick. I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't know what type of lychee this was. Pays to keep an eye on it, but well, there you go. And the ice cream bean, which I chopped down too, because not much going on there, so he's starting from scratch again. Oh, and I probably should show you, before we keep moving on, we're extending the area, so from there, and it's going to go at least to here, the end of the rake. Moringa's waking up, which is good. Opening up all along, which is great. I reckon hopefully this year he can go on the ground. fingers crossed. A bit of damage there. That's all right. And the other day I got this beauty. If I scroll all the way to the top, a 2 meter Kensington Pride. So this is our other beauty. It's weird, didn't really branch out, but he's got heaps of new growth at the top there. I can't even reach 2 meters. A little bit of sun damage, that's alright. Bit of cold damage, that's absolutely fine. He's not in the ground just as yet. I will be putting him in the ground here. But I'm pretty happy with that purchase. He was relatively cheap for a 2 meter. And I think that's because he's not bushy. He's just a bit of a single stalk. If you guys got any tips on how to make them bushier, more branches, and I think I know how. I think you got to chop that top bit off in summer and let them branch out. But I don't know, what do you think? Should I leave him or should I chop him? If I chop him, I'll get more branches. If I leave him, then, well, it stays the same. Anyways, I would have to cut this video short because we are getting rain again. We haven't had enough apparently. So anyways, just a quick buzz through the whole garden. Very quick one. Let me know what your thoughts are on the mango and all the plantings, and yeah, we'll catch you from the next video. Alright? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye for now.